What is going on, YouTube universe? Welcome to the Hip and Shoulder, and it is that time of the week once more, ladies and gentlemen. What time? Time to get our tips in. Just a little bit, and I'm running late. I should have got this done earlier in the week, and then I woke up this morning and thought, fuck, it's Thursday, we got a game tonight, so let's dive on in. Normally this is where we would talk about how poorly I have tipped for a round, and then go over the games that I tipped correctly, and the games I tipped incorrectly. However, we don't have to do that this week, because I tipped a perfect round, 7 out of 7, baby. I am so fucking happy. I thought, finally, a little bit of reprieve, a little bit of, greatness for the season, I suppose, lack of better terms. I was so stoked until I saw the fact that there was a decent handful of everybody that tipped 7 out of 7, and I barely moved up the ladder, if not at all. So, let's have a look at how we did collectively in my competition for the week, shall we? As I said, perfect tipping round for myself, 7 out of 7. However, the following people also did the same, so congratulations must go to, well, I would say no particular order, but there is an order we're going through here. So congratulations goes to the Blooper Reel, Charles Lowe, Frio90, myself, hey, thank you very much, Jess Z, Rockstar Pool 69, Some Cripple, Master Mano, Majtag 77, Nado, PMac 82, Jazz Sky 13, Timo IE, Yarra Villa, Macca 0303, Skyvo, Welsh Duke, Beanos, and MRL from PA. Damn, I thought I finally got a gap on people, but unfortunately we managed to just tie it up with a decent handful. So congratulations to everybody who tipped the perfect round this past round. And turning attention to total tips, it is still Skyvo Lana S leading the charge on top of the ladder with 102 total tips. 3 tips clear of the next best, which is now a 3-way tie between Jazz Sky, Beanos, and Macca 0303. Our top 10 is then rounded out by Nado in 5th, Gramercy Riff 78 in 6th, Frio90 in 7th, MRL from PA in 8th, PMac 82 in 9th, and Princess Cahill in 10th. The Princess Cahill is tied with Yarra Villa and Timo IE, who have all made some big moves this past week. So congratulations to my top 10. Special congratulations to Skyvo Lana S for once again leading the charge for another round. Can we get another perfect round given the fact that every single team is back into circulation this week? Let's find out where I'm tipping and how it's going to go down. As I said, it kicks off tonight at Marvel Stadium, North Melbourne taking on the Bulldogs. Now, North Melbourne, coming into this game, I believe there is a rather extensive injury list for this particular North Melbourne outfit, and without wanting to upset the North Melbourne crowd, I wasn't giving them any chance coming into this game anyway. Bulldogs are absolutely flying. They'll be licking their chops to get another percentage boosting win here. And with some of the outs that they have suffered, North Melbourne, it's going to be incredibly hard to try to stem the flow and be competitive. So this is the Bulldogs, and this is the Bulldogs by the way of, I'm going to say 41 points. This is going to be pretty huge. Friday night, we've got 2 games, and they are an hour apart. I don't understand why we're getting 2 Friday night games, let alone one of the Friday night games we're getting dished up is, it makes it very much easier to determine which Friday night game I'll be watching, I'll tell you that much. The first game on Friday is Carlton taking on Collingwood. I think Collingwood win this one quite convincingly. Way too defensively sound. Forward half of the ball, they are finally, this season finding connection because they've got the right pieces in. Dan McStay back in. They bring in Tim Membry. It allows players like Jamie Elliott to be a little bit more loose with the ball. Bobby Hill can find a little bit more of the ball up the ground. Don't know whether they'll try to run the Dacos tag with George Hewitt, potentially, but Dacos has proven you can't keep a good guy down. So Collingwood in this one, I think quite convincingly as well. If Port Adelaide can knock off Carlton by 50 points, I think Collingwood can do just the same. The second game on Friday night is going to be a potential bloodbath. It is West Coast hosting GWS at Optus Stadium. Given the fact it's at Optus, there might be a glimmer of hope that West Coast can get the job done here, especially with the announcement recently of Dom Sheed retiring earlier in the week. They'll want to rise to the occasion to see a premiership hero off. But I don't think it's going to be happening, and I think GWS are going to win this one quite convincingly. We could see back-to-back 40-plus point wins in the first 3 games of this round, which is insane given these 3 teams that I've tipped are all playing for finals football. Collingwood is all but locked in, and I don't think it drops out of the top 4 at all. Bulldogs and GWS, though, hunting for percentage-boosting wins to really help them push their assertion into that top 8. The first on Saturday afternoon sees Essendon hosting the Gold Coast at Marvel Stadium. We know now, even though Damien Hardwick hates travelling here, Gold Coast have been playing some decent football, and I think they are going to get the better of Essendon. Essendon's injuries are just becoming too insurmountable for them to overcome, and it's going to be very interesting to see how they can perform and what configuration we kind of see with their lineup. But I think Gold Coast here, again, one of those other teams that are looking to solidify a top 8 spot, and they can do so by beating Essendon quite convincingly. And this could also be a 30 to 40 point win if Gold Coast are accurate this week, because accuracy beat them in the arse last round. Later on at GMHBA Stadium, we have Geelong, and I'm clicking it. Geelong absolutely belting Richmond. If this isn't the way of 10 plus goals Geelong's way, I don't understand. And this could be a game where Jeremy Cameron, locks away the Coleman, because he could well and truly kick 7 to 10 goals comfortably. It's going to be a tall task for Ben Miller, because Ben Miller's going to be the one probably to lock him down. Tom Lynch out for 5 weeks with that hit on Jordan Butts, so forward of the ball. It's going to be very interesting to see the configuration Richmond come up with. Will Taj Houghton debut in Geelong, or would they wait for Richmond to return to the MCG? Who knows? But I'm very keen to see how we line up, and I just want to see our boys have a crack. We've had Geelong's number in the past before, and I feel this could be an upset game because Richmond's backs are against the wall and they're not expected to win, so we could do winning things. But realistically, Geelong absolutely smack us in this game. Over at the Gabba, Brisbane hosting Port Adelaide. Port Adelaide have been playing good football, but I don't think they're good enough to knock off Brisbane in Brisbane. However, that being said, the Gabba has not been as big of a fortress for Brisbane this year as previous years. They have lost 3 games, I believe, at the Gabba this year. So Port Adelaide, if they want to keep their finals hopes alive, a scalp here goes a long way, but I don't see it happening. I think Brisbane, coming off of the bye, get a solid win. And the final game on Saturday at Marvel Stadium sees St Kilda hosting Hawthorn. Hawthorn licking their chops. They've still got sights on a top 4 finish. These are games they need to win, and need to win very convincingly. You don't come out and belt North Melbourne like they did last week and then drop the ball against St Kilda. Don't see it happening. This is 50 plus points the way of Hawthorn. 2 games on Sunday, the first of which Sydney taking on Fremantle. I think there is a realm where Fremantle win this. I can see it happening. The Bulldogs managed to get it done in a close one against Sydney. I'm going for an upset here. I'm going Fremantle against Sydney. I think the midfield battle's going to be great to watch. The likes of Warner, Goulden and Heaney coming up against Brayshaw and Sarong and Bolton and those types of players. I think the combination of Darcy and Jackson can wear Grundy down. Forward half of the ball, I think Luke Jackson could be a forward threat. This is going to be an incredible watch, because I think defensively, Fremantle might have Sydney's number here, because Papley was subbed out of the game last week, I believe, with a little bit of injury, awareness or calf soreness or something along those lines. With no real key forward to speak of outside of Hayden McLean, this could be a game where Fremantle's backline are able to set up defensively rather easily. So I'm backing Fremantle on the road to get another win. And the final game of the round is going to see Adelaide win quite convincingly against Melbourne at Adelaide Oval. Adelaide are looking for a top 4 spot. I think they go a long way in this game to solidifying their chances here. So, quick recap. We're going the Bulldogs, Collingwood, GWS, Gold Coast, Geelong, Brisbane, Hawthorn, Fremantle, and Adelaide. Shifting into the gauntlet. The gauntlet this week is an easy selection. I'm going Geelong against Richmond. I feel even though Hawthorn should beat St Kilda quite convincingly, there is realm for a St Kilda upset. Tipping Sydney here could be good against Fremantle, but that undoes the fact that I've gone Fremantle against Sydney, and I don't want to do that. I think the Gold Coast will beat Essendon, GWS are beating West Coast, Collingwood are beating Carlton. So if I was to make any guesses, and there is realm for Brisbane to lose here, so if I was making any lock guesses here, it is definitely Geelong over Richmond. We could potentially go Hawthorn here and keep Geelong for a later game, but you want to take the certainties every week with the gauntlet, and Geelong is as safe a bet as I'm going to make. That is it for today's video. Apologise that it got out later than expected, but thank you for turning out and joining me as always. If you do enjoy the content I make here, do leave a like on the video. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and get on board the community we are building together. But that's it from me, guys. I'm out of here. Good luck to your teams this weekend. And as always, I will catch you guys next time.